taken by this feeling, baby, we're invincible.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Notts County. As always, if you're still enjoying the save, drop a like on the video. That really helps out the channel with that pesky YouTube algorithm. Today I thought we'd start on Thomas' peace check, just to have a little look at how the 20-year-old poll is developing. Still rated at 5-star potential, which is a good sign. He's getting some first team football this year, substitute appearances in the Premier League, some cup games, but I feel like it's only a matter of time before we get some kind of injury in our midfield to one of the big three that allows peace check his chance to play in the team. And he's been looking very, very solid so far, and I hope that he can continue his development, get some more game time over the year, and really be in a great position to become an excellent player for us in the future, depending on how long this save goes on for. Now, it's Sunday, which means it's Regen Sunday on a Sunday. Who knew? If you want to participate, head over to the Regen chat on the Discord. Link is in the description. Drop your regions in there, and I pick out the best ones, usually the funniest names these days. I do try to find some good ones too, but the names, they always get me, and I'll drop them in on the Sunday. First up, Hedlin Elefsen, a Faroese right winger playing for Leeds, came through FC Copenhagen, which makes sense, but what a player. Probably the best Faroese player I've seen, and we've seen some good ones. Then Domingo, an Irish guy, playing for Levante. Brilliant. I like to think that his surname is like O'Reilly, Domingo O'Reilly. Then we've got Akmirat Mamadov, yeah, a Turkmenistani player. Not fantastic, but just to see one of those is kind of cool. Then God knows Masocha. I mean, that's great. Then we got Brinquedo, a Brazilian Polish dude whose actual name is Magnum Wasilewski. Like they said, why would you change your name to Brinquedo if your name is Magnum Wasilewski? Brilliant. Then Ignacio Barzaga, who is an Afghanistani player with a Spanish-sounding name playing for Red Bull Salzburg. And he's also over 2 meters tall. The Afghan giraffe. There you go. Then we've got Josep Maria, who is a Northern Irish Spanish dude whose actual name is Sean Taylor. What? Followed by Effie Ajayi, who's just an insanely good Nigerian left-back, just ridiculously good. And lastly, Boycock. Great. I did find another player the other day. I was talking about it on stream, called Winky de Grot, which was a great name. And I've been looking at some Dutch players in their under 18, under 19, you know, the lower league national team. Lower age group national teams. And there are some funny ones in there too. So there we go. That's Regen Sunday. You know what to do. So, based on the off-camera games that we played, and I've been kind of thinking about this a little bit today, I've been watching some games and thinking, actually, I think perhaps the tactic could well be reaching the end of its life cycle in terms of, I think we've got the most out of it, but I think maybe we need to make some slight changes. And I've been messing around with some ideas for changes in the off-camera matches, and we'll talk about that more in a sec, and particularly the match that kind of was the catalyst for that. Because first up, we went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and lost 2-0. I mean, like, it was a fairly even game in terms of actual chance creation. I think we actually created one more than them, but at the end of the day, we just didn't look particularly great. We conceded another goal from a set piece, which has been a bit of an issue for us this year. It seems to be a few years we'll go without that being a problem, and then all of a sudden we'll just have a season where every goal practically is from set pieces for us, which is odd when it's the exact same backline, but there you go. And then they got one from Pedro de la Vega as well. But it made me take a little bit of a deeper look at the way we're setting up tactically now, wondering if there's better things we could be doing, and I tried to experiment with that a little bit in the game against Brighton in the League Cup, which we did go through on penalties in the end. But the point is, Brighton should have won this match in normal time. They had like 7 chances against us because they constantly got in behind. Now, obviously, that's because we had worse players out there and they were able to make those passes a little bit easier. But I started to question maybe if there's ways we could tighten up defensively and create scenarios in which we get to do what we want to do. And I actually feel like the way we were playing with our very, very high line and incredibly high higher line of engagement might have actually been what was causing us problems in some respects, because we're winning the ball out the pitch, which is great, but we often didn't take those chances. Most of the time our chances came from us getting into space in behind them and whipping balls across, or getting our strikers in behind, and we couldn't really engineer that space when we were pressed up so high on teams. So I've tried to engineer that a little bit more, but we'll talk about more of that in a second because I tried it out in the next game. We did score a 90th minute winner, or so I thought. Keskin thrashed one home in the 90th minute, and then directly from kickoff, Tyrese John Jules just ran straight through and equalised in the same minute. Thankfully, though, we did win on penalties, and we are through to the next round. We'll play Chelsea, though, so I mean, I wasn't taking this seriously. The board don't care. I played a rotated team, but Piszczek had an excellent game in the centre of midfield, which is nice to see. By that, I then took this approach into the game at home against 14th place Burnley, and you can see for a start that the midfield creativity was still right where you want it to be, which is good. Took the lead early on through Itach. Great ball across, whipped in by Cabral, and Itach was at the back post to smash it home. We then got on from Lawson Guerra as Acevedo was able to whip one across for him. Bit of a jumble in the box, but he got there in the end. And then lastly, in the 90th minute, Acevedo whipped another beautiful ball in, and Mateus Cabral got to the back post, smashed it home, and had another relatively solid match. So what did I change, you may be asking? Well, against Brighton, I dropped the defensive line back to standard. I also went to defend wider, and I dropped our line of engagement back. So we're keeping the same distance from each other, but starting slightly further back. The pressing is still the same. So essentially, we're just allowing them the ball around their final third area if they're just playing it around generally. But the moment they step out of that, we're going to go hunt them down like raptors. It's allowing the players to maintain a higher level of fitness because they're not pressing constantly, but it also means that we're not getting torn out of shape. Because all of that leaves us fourth in the Premier League. And it's certainly not really a bad thing, to be honest. We're only 3 points off the top, 1 point off of Liverpool and Arsenal, who've started incredibly strongly this year. Southampton's still on a really good run. City and Spurs struggling a little bit. Palace struggling an awful lot, in fact. And Forest, of course, struggling dramatically, as you would imagine. But solid start for us. Mateus Cabral, with 4 goals. Guerra with 4 goals. A good start for all. Frankly, I'm pleased with it. Top scorers in the division with 17. We're not doing too bad defensively. It's nothing brilliant just yet, but I'm hoping we can tighten that up with a slightly better defensive approach and allow us more attacking opportunities. So we're still right in there for the title race, which is good. We got Man United today. We beat them and we go above them, so that's always good. I'm looking forward to this. We'll probably get absolutely handed to us in these games, but we've got to try something out because I just don't think it's working in those big games. So this is the change I made. I essentially just re-imported the tactic and then made a little change to it. I've made Aitax back to being a supporting player. I'm going to turn the defensive offside trap off, though. That's something we don't need to be messing around with. That's one thing I didn't do, and maybe we would have been better had I not done that, because there's no point in trying to play an offside trap with a standard defensive line. And even if we would have come a cropper against Bayern today, I wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater immediately. I would still have hope that actually we're on the right track. I just want to see us look a bit defensively stronger against better teams. We tend to have to win them in a kind of basketball score kind of game, and that's not really what you want to be doing at the highest levels, particularly not when two-legged ties. And we can't really afford to lose here, because a defeat here could put us in a real problem, where we're basically having to battle for Basel for 3rd place, and I really don't want to take a step backwards in that sense this year, which is why I really do think it's important that we try to win the title again, because getting 3rd pot is really not good. Admittedly, I think we'd be 2nd pot, and really should have made the most of that. Suarez again, though, finding eye touch, and look at the space for Cabral. He has to find it. Oh, he hasn't. Oh, you selfish man. And now he finds him. The chance to slip Cabral in there was much, much sooner than that, and he's just delayed. Here we go again. Let's grab ourselves a set-piece goal or something there. It's a nice ball, and Celso! There we go. We lead at the Allianz Arena, and that is a huge goal for us. Guerra with the assist, Celso with the goal. Okay, sure, it's from a corner, but we've started very, very strongly here. I'm pleased with what I've seen so far. Lovely ball in. The header isn't even the best from Celso. It just deflects off the defender and in. Very fortunate. I'm pleased. This seems to be doing the right things for us. Possession-wise, not so great, and Atletico have scored. No surprises there. What? Do you know what's about to happen? I'm going to run the segment. Bayern have just smashed us 2-0 up. Christian Torres must have had a tenner on us to score over 2 goals. Bang! He's just run the segment.
What the f*** was that?
I actually can't believe that's just gone in. What a ball for Cabral. And look at the space for Aitac. He's got to find him. He does. Aitac taps inside. What a save from the Bayern keeper. Just for once, I'd like our actual chance creation dominance in one of these Champions League matches to genuinely pay out for us. We've had so many results where they just get a random goal. Oh, and there it is. Sure, whatever. We just cannot seem to defend free kicks anymore. It's so bizarre. Like, Celso's right there. It's the same as the Atletico one. The chance creation is all for nothing if you end up conceding stupid goals. And I know that obviously they scored one of our goals for us, but we're looking good creatively. That's pleasing. Beckart. That's a really good ball for Guerra. He's in. And it's 3-1. Jose Lelson Guerra, lovely ball in behind. That is what I'm talking about. Us being I know we do get in behind sometimes when we're playing a high line too, but I find that we're getting more opportunities like this because they're feeling more confident in pushing up. Still an absolutely outrageous ball from Beckart. I don't know what the defender's doing there, but the composure from Guerra to bring that down, and really nice finish. Bayern Munich 1, Notts County 3 in the first half. I was going to say, look for Dubois. They're allowing a space into the centre of midfield, which is what I want from this new style. Aitac has got room to run into. Maybe he can slip one through for Guerra. Jean Carlos might. He's going to go all the way through. And he's made it 4. Bayern Munich 1, Notts County 4. Jean Carlos does it by himself, and that's a very deserved goal. Yes, I think we might be onto something, lads. This feels very, very good now. There's more space where we want it. More creative players can get their foot on the ball a bit more, and someone like Jean Carlos can just dribble straight through their defence, very annoyingly for them, I suppose, and slot it home for 4-1. What's that? Things look like they're going well for you. Be a shame if someone injured your best striker now, wouldn't it? I'm ecstatic. To be 4-1. Oh, Lever's got another one there. What a save by Maltz. That's a really good stop from the keeper. Dubois, lovely ball for Cabral again. Goes past 1. Goes past 2. Lever's got a look at the overlap. He doesn't need it. He's got it himself. He's all the way through. Darren Lever makes it 5. Bayern Munich 1, Notts County 5. Right. I think we might have just put a statement out there. Cabral with another assist for the year as well. His record this year has been phenomenal. But this is wonderful from Darren Lever. He turns the Bayern defender into absolute knots here. Little nutmeg, runs inside, takes another step to go past another one, slots it through the keeper's legs. Beautiful from Darren Lever. Just going to run it down the line and actually goes past one. And there it is. Bayern Munich 1, Notts County 5. Absolutely godlike performance. And Celso's man of the match, but everybody deserves huge credit for that performance. That's what we needed. Right, now Man United. Let's see if we can take this into the league, shall we? Right then, guys, we're back. So, it was sprained ankle ligaments. 3 to 4 weeks. It's not great, but it's also not the end of the world. So, thankfully, we've dodged another bullet, it would seem. Today, though, we play against Manchester United away from home. Here's how things stand. So, a win for us would send us top, but there's other stuff going on elsewhere. So, a Liverpool win would send them top, although they're not playing till tomorrow, it would seem. So, we actually could go top by the end of this day, but we'd have to beat Man United away from home, and they've won 6 out of 7 so far. It's not the best, but I do think that our little changes are going to put us in the right direction. How well that's going to go today, we don't know. We'll find out. Personally, I still want to try out Kostel-Troffin. He's got the club at heart, you know. Campbell's back in though, so Fernandes can sit out for this one because he took a slight knock anyway, which is great because Fernandes is back in anyway. Campbell's back in anyway. Partnerships all over the pitch, which is really nice to see. This looks solid, but we will have to see how this goes. Maybe this new approach can work well for us tonight as well. We look very, very comfortable against Bayern Munich, but this is Manchester United and they're away, and they're also top of the league right now, having a really good start to the year. So we'll see. Oh, this is a really good angle. And he smashed it in the back of the net. He was only going to score from there. We lead 1-0 at Old Trafford. Ahmed Aitach with his 4th goal of the year. He's contributing, albeit this time from a free kick, but the guy is definitely... Look at that for Ben. What a strike. We lead at Old Trafford, and that's about the perfect start to this match. And won by Aitach. Brilliant. Dubois can turn. Aitach has got to look behind. Kostel-Troffin is... What is he doing? He had the head start on the defender, and then he just didn't run. The thing is, we're creating chances that Guerra would be getting all sorts of joy from, and unfortunately we just don't have a striker capable of putting them away at the moment. Mercado, good save. Campbell, Cabral, 2 players on him, drops it back. Oh, look at the space for Romain Dubois. Men left and right. One of them is Cabral, and he smashes it home. We're 2-0 up at Old Trafford. Mateus Cabral with his 5th goal of the year. He has now equalled his tally in the Premier League from last season, and he's done it in 8 matches. 5 goals in 8 games in the Premier League for him, and he managed 5 in like 30 something last year. What a ball from Dubois, by the way. Just slide rule into the channel. Cabral's there. They're focusing elsewhere, and we're 2-0 up. We don't need Kostel-Troffin. He's just a distraction with confidence to drive at people. Just gone all the way in. Oh, now we could be in trouble, but nope. Poor clearance. Celso. Whoa, you mug! He actually gets away with it and then still turns it back into trouble. That sort of stuff annoys the shit out of me. Great ball for Cabral. Now we've got room. And he's got a great first touch to, and look at the space for Aitach at the back post. He has to find him. He's found Troffin instead. The games are good to watch as well. Troffin! And it's tipped over the crossbar by the United keeper. That's the opposite of what we want to be doing there. Good of the defender to just step out of the way to allow the United player to score. Good. Just get out of the way, why don't you? This sort of stuff infuriates me. So, they've got a striker. This guy's clearly marking him. Why is he just... What are you doing? Why do they just get out of the fucking way? It's so frustrating when they do that. There's no reason why he wouldn't at least try to get in the way. Yeah, we're not looking for those crossfield passes. And he's useless. Sorry, my apologies. Jespersen is just getting absolutely shredded today. He is almost non-existent as a defender. Like, fair enough, he's got one-on-one here, but he... Like... Jespersen's had a shit day. I love how he's still on a 6.6. Well waved, Jean Carlos. Right, we've got to make a run for him. No one's made the run for him. Now someone might. Cabral, got to slip it through. Goes for goal instead. And Jean... Did the ball just get sucked towards him there? I thought Jean Carlos was in for a tap in there. It's been a fun game so far. Annoying to concede 2 goals in 2 minutes, though, from that. Like, I feel like tactically the defence is actually okay. It's just the players are shitting themselves tonight. Trying to get someone that can try something slightly different. United have actually had a lot of shots in this match, and they're not even from range either, to be fair. And, oh, just wide from Aitach. They've really stepped it up in this second period. Aspan's already got a booking. He's only been on the pitch a few minutes. Whatever. I mean, they deserve the win. It's just so frustrating to see them just throw it away. Well, there you go. Man United have come from 2-0 down against us to win. We were doing fine, but I don't know. It just feels like the defenders just didn't do their jobs today. Like, one mistake was compounded into a second one, and it's just completely cost us. But we didn't really recover. he was doing it again. Frustrating times, and it has set us back in the league. Already our 3rd defeat of the season. It's not great. We have to kind of build on this. We're going to come back and do the next Basel games. We can do a nice big chunk off cameras, like 6 games in there or something. So hopefully we can get some wins. I still think this tactic is the right way to go. Look how well we played against Bayern. The defenders against Manchester United just didn't actually seem to be human. Which definitely didn't help us in any regard. And the lack of striker definitely didn't help us either. So if you've enjoyed this episode in spite, it's a proper Jekyll and Hyde episode, isn't it? Then drop a like, that'd be excellent. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Also go over follow me on Twitch. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:30 AM. And I'll see you guys very soon. Hold your gun, capybara. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.